So, 8th Canto Bhagavatam, chapter 19. So yesterday we were listening that when Bhagavan, Vamanadev, he came to the fire sacrifice place of Bali Maharaj, then in that moment Bali Maharaj was very pleased and he told him, whatever you want, you can ask. Because to give a donation to a brahmana is my duty. In this moment, what did Bhagavan say? Vamana told, I only want 3 steps of land. Listening to this, Bali Maharaj, he left. So he said, I am only asking 3 steps of land. 3 steps of land. So Gurudev is repeating the verse. Let's see where. Shukadev Goswami told. Okay, 27, 28, now 27. O king, from you, the best of those who give charity, I ask only 3 places of land. By such a gift, I shall be very pleased, for the way of happiness is to be fully satisfied to receive that which is absolutely needed. When the Lord had thus spoken to Bali Maharaj, verse 28, Bali smiled and told him, alright, take whatever you like. To confirm his promise to give Vamanadev the desired land, he then took up his water pot. Shukracharya, understanding Lord Vishnu's purpose, the best of the learned, immediately spoke as follows to his disciple, who was about to offer everything to Lord Vamanadev. So Shukracharya said, O son of Virochan, verse 30, this brahmachari in the form of a dwarf is directly the imperishable Supreme Lord Vishnu, accepting Kashyap Muni as his father and Aditi as his mother. He has now appeared in order to fulfill the interests of the demigods. You do not know what a dangerous position you have accepted by promising to give him land. I do not think that this promise is good for you. It will bring great harm to the demons. The person falsely appearing as a brahmachari is actually the Supreme God Hari, who has come in the form in this form to take away all your land, wealth, beauty, power, fame, and education. After taking everything from you, he will deliver it to Indra, your enemy. So, you have promised to give him 3 steps of land in charity, 33. But when you give it, he will occupy the 3 worlds. You are a rascal. You do not know what a great mistake you have made. After giving everything to Lord Vishnu, you will have no means of livelihood. How then shall you live? 34. Vamanadev will first occupy the 3 worlds with 1 step. Then he will take his 2nd step and occupy everything in outer space. And then he will expand his universal body to occupy everything. Where will you offer him the 3rd step? So according to the mundane conceptions, you will certainly be unable to fulfill your promise, and I think that because of this inability, your eternal residence will be in hell. Learned scholars do not praise that charity which endangers one's own livelihood. Charity, sacrifice, austerity, and fruitive activities are possible for one who is competent to earn his livelihood properly. They are not possible for one who cannot maintain himself. Therefore, one who is in full knowledge should divide his accumulated wealth in 5 parts: for religion, for reputation, for opulence, for sense gratification, and for the maintenance of his family members. Such a person is happy in this world and in the next. One might argue that since you have already promised, how can you refuse? O best of the demons, just take from me the evidence of the Vritrasura, which says that a promise is truthful preceded by the word Om, and untruthful if not. So yesterday we heard all this conversation. What did we listen to yesterday? What did we hear? So Shukracharya is telling Bali, you should take your word back, like take your promise back. Yesterday we told also, if in a situation, Jivan Sankat means when your life is in danger, or a dilemma in your life, like your life is in danger. Like if there's no other way for you to save yourself, like your life is in danger, it's called Jivana Sankat. Sankat sometimes is translated as dilemma, or like there's no way out of that situation, you know. So if you lie in a... Who's telling all this? Shukracharya. So this is the morals of Shukracharya. If you lie when your life is in danger, it's not a problem. In some situations you can lie and it's not condemned if you lie in some circumstances. In which situations you can lie and it's not a problem? In which situation you can lie that it's not a problem? Verse 43. Which situation you can lie and it's not a sin, not a problem, not condemned? In flattering a woman to bring her under control, you can lie. In joking, in a marriage ceremony. So in joking, if you lie while joking, it's not a problem, it's not a fault. In a marriage ceremony, in earning one's livelihood, when one's life is in danger, in protecting cows in Brahminical culture, or in protecting a person from an enemy's hand, falsity is never condemned. So let's go for the chapter 20 now. Let's go to the chapter 20. Verse 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, Hey Maharaj Parikit, when Bali Maharaj was thus advised by his spiritual master, Shukracharya, his family priest, he remained silent for some time, and then, after full deliberation, he replied to his spiritual master as follows. Bali Maharaj said, As you have already stated, the principle of religion that does not hinder one's economic development, sense gratification, fame and means of livelihood is the real occupational duty of the householder. I also think that this religious principle is correct. So the grihasthas must follow dharma. So, the principle of religion that does not hinder one's economic development, sense gratification, fame and means of livelihood is the real occupational duty of the householder. 3. I am the grandson of Maharaj Prahlada. How can I withdraw my promise because of greed for money when I have already said that I shall give this land? How can I behave like an ordinary cheater, especially toward the brahmana? There is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. Bali Maharaj is thinking like this. He's thinking this way. There is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. Because of this, Mother Earth once said, I can bear any heavy thing except a person who is a liar. Shastra says, so Dadichi became in meditation in trance. He put some gur, some molasses on his body. The cow licked his body until all his flesh was gone and all the bones were there. When he left the body, when Dadichi Rishi left the body, so they took his bones, and Indra made a bajra, like a weapon, like lightning weapon, with his bones. So his name is coming also here. So Dadichi and Sibi. Sibi Maharaj, he protected to whom? He was also very charitable king, Sibi Maharaj. Great donor. So listening to his glories of his donations, Indra and Shivaji, they came in disguise. No. Who came? Indra and Jamaraj came. Not Shiva. Indra and Jamaraj, they came. They changed clothes. They came in the form of an eagle and a pigeon. Do you understand? Do you get it? Then they came to Sibi Maharaj, sat near him. Pigeon was flying, and sat on the lap of Sibi Maharaj. Eagle came and told Maharaj, this pigeon is my food, my prey, give it to me. Pigeon told, Oh Maharaj, you are Kshatriya, you are a king, and I have taken shelter of your lotus feet, so your duty is to protect me. I came to your shelter. My life is now in danger. If you don't give me shelter, the eagle will eat me. So Maharaj, please, protect me. The eagle told, I'm hungry. My food, my prey is just in front of me. Leave this bird to me. Sibi Maharaj told, this is true. If someone comes to a Kshatriya and takes shelter of him, the duty of the Kshatriya is to help this person to protect him. But the eagle told, but I am hungry, Maharaj. Protect me. So how to solve the situation? Because before, so what happened? Sibi Maharaj told the eagle, you can eat anything I'll give you, not this pigeon, except for this pigeon. But the eagle told, I want exactly this pigeon. So king put in one scale, in one side of the scale, the pigeon, in the other side of the scale. Maharaj Sibi, he was cutting his own flesh and putting in on a scale to check how much the weight would be equal to the weight of the pigeon to give to the eagle. But it was never equal. In the end, the king himself, he sat on the scale. So he told to the eagle, eat me. So here he's mentioning Dadichi, Sibi, and many other great personalities were willing to sacrifice even their lives for the benefit of the people in general. This is the evidence of history. So why not give up this insignificant land? What is the serious consideration against it? O best of the brahmanas, Gurudeva, certainly the great demoniac kings who were never reluctant to fight enjoyed this world, but in due course of time everything they had was taken away, except their reputation, by which they continue to exist. In other words, one should try to achieve a good reputation instead of anything else. O best of the brahmanas, many men have laid down their lives on the battlefield. O best of the brahmanas, many men have laid down their lives on the battlefield, being unafraid of fighting, but rarely has one gotten the chance to give his accumulated wealth faithfully to a saintly person who creates holy places. Shastra explains, where should you give donation to? Like you should give donation to proper recipients, proper persons and places, not to a satpatra, not to an unqualified person. Donation should be given to someone who is qualified to receive it. By giving charity, verse 10, a benevolent and merciful person undoubtedly becomes even more auspicious, especially when he gives charity to a person like your good self. Under the circumstances, I must give this little brahmachari whatever charity he wants from me. So Bali Maharaj is saying, whatever this boy wants from me, this little brahmachari, I will give him. Oh, great sage, great saintly persons like you, being completely aware of Vedic principles for performing ritualistic ceremonies and yagas, worship Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. Therefore, whether that same Lord Vishnu has come here to give me all benedictions or to punish me as an enemy, I must carry out his order and give him the requested tract of land without hesitation. So everyone is praying to Lord, oh, give me money, give me this, giving me that. They are praying to Lord. Everyone is asking many things to Lord. So the same Bhagavan now, he has come to me to ask me something, to ask something from me. So I'm very fortunate. Do you understand? So Bali Maharaj is saying, oh, you are telling me that he's Bhagavan Vishnu and he will take everything from me, and that later on I'll not even be able to live, like to maintain my life. But Bali Maharaj, he answered to Shukracharya, look, today my life is successful actually. Because Lord came to me to ask donation from me. So 17 now, he's in the 17. Bali Maharaj's wife, known as Bindya Bali, who was decorated with a necklace of pearls, immediately came and had a large golden water pot brought there, full of water with which to worship by the Lord by washing his feet. Bali Maharaj, the worshipper of Lord Vamanadev, jubilantly washed the Lord's lotus feet and then took the water on his head, for that water delivers the entire universe. At that time, the residents, 19, verse 19, at that time the residents of the higher planetary systems, namely the demigods, the Gandharvas, the Vidyadhars, Siddhas and Charanas, all being very pleased by Bali Maharaj's simple, non-duplicitous acts, praised his qualities and showered upon him millions of flowers. The Gandharvas, the Kimpurushas and the Kinnaras sounded thousands and thousands of kettle drums and trumpets again and again, and they sang in great jubilation, declaring, how exalted a person is Bali Maharaj, and what a difficult task he has performed. Even though he knew that Lord Vishnu was on the side of his enemies, he nonetheless gave the Lord the entire 3 worlds in charity. So Bali Maharaj washed the feet of Bhagavan Vamanadev. He drank a bit and rest put on his head. Like that they were speaking about Ramachandra also. Ramachandra, he came with his wife Sita and his brother Lakshman to cross the Ganges. How to cross the Ganges? Ramachandra was thinking. So a boatman came and told, okay, I can cross you to the other side. I can take you over to the other side. But before, I have a condition, the boatman told Lord Ram. I have a condition before. The boatman told, oh, before you come here, I had already heard so many things about you. Which news or which stories I had heard about you before? The boatman told. I heard that you stepped your feet, like you put your feet on a stone, and then you made that stone come into a woman shape, like a woman. You know Ahalya, the story of Ahalya? Actually, Ahalya had been cursed by Gautam Rishi, and then because of this curse, she had become a stone. The story of this katha is very beautiful. This is the story, very nice. So Indra and Chandra, they went to a Rishi to study, obtain knowledge. Rishi told, okay, I will give you the donation of knowledge. I will give knowledge to you. Then Indra and Chandra, actually they hadn't come to the ashram of Gautam Rishi to study. So they had come to Gautam Rishi, remember the name of the Rishi. So they had come to study, but actually it was a pretext, like an excuse. Because actually they had evil minds, they had evil desires, they were wicked. What they wanted, actually, they wanted to they had evil eyes to upon the wife of the Rishi, like they wanted her, basically. So once, so the Rishis every day they go to the rivers to bathe and everything. So once Indra told Chandra, stay here, like garden. So when they opened, so when Rishi left, which Rishi? Gautam Rishi, he had left for the river and like this. So Indra, he came in this guise of Gautam Rishi, like in the form of Gautam Rishi. He came inside the house, the room. Gautam Rishi came back quickly from his snan, from his bath, and he saw, Chandra, why are you standing by my door? The Rishi, he knew past, present, future, so he understood. Wicked. Actually, you came to destroy the chastity of my wife. So the Rishi took his deer skin, the deer skin, Ajanasan, and he beat Chandra with this deer skin. And Chandra ran away. So these black spots on Chandra, on the moon, are actually when the Gautam Rishi beat him with the deer skin. So these marks are on the moon until nowadays, you can see. Especially on the full moon, you can see how there are many black spots on the moon. Then, when the Rishi came inside the room, Indra came out. The Rishi cursed Indra. He beat Chandra and cursed Indra. Your body will be full of vaginas. What Indra would do? His body full of vaginas. Indra started praying to the Rishi, praying for forgiveness. Please forgive me. Please help me, protect me. Then the Gautam Rishi said, okay, it will be with eyes. These vaginas will become eyes. That's why Indra is called Sahasralochan. He has 1,000 eyes on his skin everywhere, on his body. So then Gautam Rishi, he also cursed Ahalya, his wife. She said, but it's not my fault. It wasn't my fault. Still he told, even he said, you have to become a stone. So she saw her body was becoming in stone shape, like petrified. Then she said, Prabhu, please protect me from this body of a stone, from becoming a stone, like petrified. Then Gautama Rishi told her, okay, in Treta Yuga, Bhagavan Ramchandra will come. Then he will deliver you. So, what was before Gautam Rishi? The order of the yugas: Satta, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali. This was the order of the yugas at the time before. Satta, Dwapara, Treta, and Kali Yuga were the orders of the yugas. So this was in Satya Yuga. So only 2 yugas after Ramachandra would come, because that time was Satya Yuga. First Satya, then Dwapara, then in Treta Yuga, Bhagavan Ramachandra would come. At the end, Ramachandra would come. In the end of. So the Rishi told, I will change the order of the yugas. So after Satya Yuga came Treta Yuga. And in Treta Yuga, Bhagavan Ramachandra comes, right? So he made the Treta Yuga be before Dwapara Yuga.
जब महाराज ये जजमान बलि के बड़े आनंद के साथ स्वयं ही भगवान वामन देव की चरण युगल को पखरा और उनकी पावन जल को अपने सिर पर धारण कर लिया.
So 18. Okay, so just like the boatman, he washed the feet of Ram, then he drank the water. At that time, the residents of the higher planetary systems, verse 19, namely the demigods, Gandharvas, the Vidyadhars, the Siddhas, Charanas, all being very pleased by Bali Maharaj's simple, non-duplicitous act, praised his qualities and showered upon him millions of flowers. At that time, residents of higher planetary systems, they were singing. So 20. Now 21. 21st. The unlimited Supreme God, who had assumed the form of Vamana, then began increasing in size. Became increasing size, manifesting a gigantic form, acting in terms of the material energy until everything in the universe was within his body, including the earth, the planetary systems, the sky, the directions, the various holes in the universe, the seas, the oceans, the birds, beasts, human beings, the demigods, and great saintly persons.
अतःपर इंद्र के पद पर आसीन महाराज बोली ने विश्वरूप महापुरुष के चरण कमल के रसातल आदि सातों लोक
23. Thereafter, Bali Maharaj, who was occupying the seat of King Indra, could see the lower planetary systems, such as Rasatal, on the soles of the feet of the Lord's universal form. He saw on the Lord's feet the surface of the globe, on the surface of his calves all the mountains, on his knees the various birds, and on his thighs the varieties of air.
अच्छा हे राजन त्रिविक्रम भगवान ने उस प्रकार उस समय मस्तक पर चमकते मुकुट एवं बाहु में बाजूबंद कानों में मकराकृति कुंडल वक्षस्थल पर कल में दीप्तिशाली कौस्तुभमणि
25-29. On the heart of Lord Murari he saw religion, on the chest both pleasing words and truthfulness.
शरीर से आकाश को भुजाओं के समस्त आकाश को घेर लिया.
I think we'll read only the end of this shloka. Okay, so first with the first step he covered the earth, with the second step he
इसके बाद दूसरे पग से स्वर्ग को नाप लिया.
With the second step he covered Swarga.
बलि के पास किंचित मात्र भी स्थान नहीं बचा था.
So in the third there was no place to put.
श्री हरि का चरण स्वर्ग से क्रमशः
34.
हुआ महलोक.
And not even a spot remained for the third step, for the Lord's foot extended higher and higher, beyond Maharlok, Janarlok, Tapalok, and even Satalok. Second step he covered the heavenly planets.
शिला सुखदेव गोस्वामी पाद कहते हैं हे महाराज.
Next chapter 21, 21st. Shukadeva Goswami continued, when Lord Brahma, who was born of a lotus flower, saw that the effulgence of his residence, Brahmalok, had been reduced by the glaring effulgence from the toenails of Lord Vamanadev, he approached the Supreme God. Lord Brahma was accompanied by all the great sages, headed by Marichi, and by yogis like Sanandana. But in the presence of that glaring effulgence, O King, even Lord Brahma and his associates seemed insignificant.
से कुछ जम नियम न्याय शास्त्र इतिहास शिक्षा कल्प आदि ग्रंथ पुराण संहिता वेद आयुर्वेद
Among great personalities who came to worship the lotus feet of Lord were those who had attained perfection in self-control and regulative principles, as well as experts in logic, history, general education, and the Vedic literature known as Kalpi, dealing with all the historical incidents. Others were experts in the Vedic corollaries like Brahma Samhita and all the other knowledge of the Vedas.
हे राजन ब्रह्मा जी के कमंडल का जल उरुक्रम वामन देव के पाद पद्म के प्रक्षालन से अतंत्र पवित्र होकर
Verse 4. O king, the water from Lord Brahma's Kamandalu washed the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadev,
तो ब्रह्मा
who is known as Ugrukram.
वामन देव के चरण कमल के धोते करके
So Brahmaji washed his feet
मंडूल में रख
and kept in his water pot.
उसी परवर्ती काल में गंगा जी के रूप में इस लोक में
So later on, this water came in this world as in the form of the Ganga.
में मंदाकिनी
So three streams of the Ganges. In the Swargaloka, she is Mandakini, Ganga Devi.
पृथ्वी लोक
A stream on the earth, Prithvi, her name is Bhagirathi.
में और मर्तलोक में
And in
ये मर्तलोक
Patala Loka, her name is
भगवती गंगा
Bhagavati Ganga.
जब ब्रह्मा आदि लोकपाल के अनुचर के साथ देखा कि प्रभु वामदेव अपने विभूति को समेट करके पहले के भी समान वामन रूप में अवस्थित है तो वे सब बड़े आदर के साथ उनकी भेंट समर्पित करने लगी। इस प्रकार समस्त लोग भगवान की चरण कमल के और
So everybody worshipped the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Verse 8. Jambavan, king of the bears,
भगवान ने किया कि
also joined the ceremony,
मन की गति से
sounding his bugle
दौड़कर
in all directions.
जगत के हुए भगवान
He declared the great festival for Lord Vamanadeva's victory.
घोषणा कर दिया। उन्होंने भी कितने बार परिक्रम 7 बार से न कितने बार 7 बार
So maybe
परिक्रमा कर लिया।
7 times he also did parikrama. Who? Jambavan.
उसने देखा कि स्वामी महाराज
When the demoniac followers of Maharaj Bali saw that their master, who had been determined in performing sacrifice, had lost all his possessions to Vamanadev, who had taken them away on the plea of begging 3 paces of land, they were very angry and spoke as follows.
कुछ लोग कहने लगे यह वामन निश्चय ही ब्राह्मण नहीं है।
This Vamana is certainly not a brahmana, but the best of cheaters, Lord Vishnu. Assuming the form of a brahmana, he has covered his own form, and thus is working for the interests of the demigods.
हमारे महाराज
Our Lord Bali Maharaj, because of his position in performing the yajna, has given up the power to punish.
और तो उस समय हमारा नहीं धर्म और ब्राह्मण रूप में आए
Taking advantage of this, our eternal enemy Vishnu, dressed in the form of a brahmachari beggar, has taken away all his possessions.
बोली कि उनगत जन असुरों को भगवान के वध के लिए अपने अपने हथियार लेकर के उठ गए हैं। वामनदेव भगवान वामनदेव जब उनकी सारी संपत्ति को हर लिया
So when Vamanadev Bhagavan took all his possessions, the demons,
देव के ऊपर आक्रमण करने
they wanted to attack Vamanadeva.
वस्त्र द्वारा सब
And Vamanadeva manifested many weapons.
पीट करके भगाया
He killed all of them, sent them away.
इसके पहले बलि महाराज जी कह रहे हैं देखो
Bali Maharaj told,
जब दैव तुम्हारे साथ था तब तुमने इसको बल पर कितने ही बार विष्णु के विरुद्ध युद्ध में परास्त कर दिया था वही दैव के विपरीत होने पर भी युद्ध में आज हमें पराजित करके सिंहनाद कर रहे हैं इसलिए शास्त्र में कहा जाता है दैव बलं ही
Shastra explains, the power of the demigods is the higher power.
दैव बल जिसके ऊपर है
If somebody has the power of the gods, demigods,
क्या करते हैं
Deva Bal,
जय प्राप्त
this person will be victorious everywhere.
इसलिए बलि महाराज अपने सारे लोगों की सांत्वना देने लगे
So Bali Maharaj, he pacified his people.
विपरीत है
He said the demigods are against us, so
युद्ध मत करो
don't fight.
इसके बाद यज्ञ के अंतिम समय जब सोमपान होने वाला था तब पक्षी राज गरुड़ ने अपने स्वामी की अभिलाषा जानकर राजा बलि को वरुण पास से बंदी बना लिया सर्वोत्तम प्रभावशाली भगवान विष्णु ने इस प्रकार जब बलि महाराज को बांध दिया
Verse 26. Thereafter, on the day of Sompan, after the sacrifice was finished, Garud, the king of birds, understanding the desire of his master, arrested Bali with the ropes of Varun. 27. When Bali Maharaj was thus arrested by Lord Vishnu, who is the most powerful, there was a great roar and lamentation in all directions throughout the upper and lower planetary systems of the universe.
इसी बीच भगवान वामनदेव
Sorry, O king, the supreme personality of Godhead, Vamanadeva, then spoke to Bali Maharaj.
तुम मुझे 3 पग भूमि देने का
29. O king of the demons, you have promised to give me 3 steps of land, but I have occupied the entire universe with 2 steps. Now think about where should I put my third.
पर मैं तीसरा पग रख सकूं इस स्थान तक सूर्य की किरणें
As far as the sun and the moon, 30. As far as the sun and the moon shine with the stars, and as far as the clouds pour rain, all the land throughout the universe is in your possession.
और समस्त पृथ्वी तुम्हारी अधिकार में है इसलिए भगवान कहने लगे
Bhagavan told,
मैं तुम्हारे पास तुम्हारे साथ देखते देखते ही मैंने तुम्हारी स्वर्गलोक का नाम लिया
of these possessions with 1 step I have occupied Burlok, and with my body I have occupied the entire sky in all directions, and in your presence with my 2nd step I have occupied the upper planetary system. Because you have been unable to give charity according to your promise, the rule is that you should go down to live in the hellish planets, because you promised to give 3 steps, but you could give only 2.
शास्त्र की सम्मति से तुम्हें
Therefore, in accordance with the order of Shukracharya, your spiritual master, now go down and live there.
इसकी अनुमोदन किया है तब तुम नरक में प्रवेश करो जो प्रतिज्ञाबद्ध होकर भी याचक के अभिष्ट वस्तु प्रदान न करके उनकी
Far from being elevated to heavenly planets or fulfilling one's desire, one who does not properly give a beggar what he has promised falls down to a hellish condition of life. Being falsely proud of your possessions, you are promised to give me land, but you could not fulfill your promise.
जाना पड़ता है
Therefore, because your
कि वचन
promise was false, you must live for a few years in hellish life. You couldn't give what you promised, so you have to go to the lower planetary systems.
विप्रलब्धो ददामीति तवाहं चड्डमानिनं तत्तुल्लालिगं फलं भुडक्षं निरायं कतिश्चित् समाम भगवान करने तुम्हें बड़ा अभिमान
Bhagavan told, King, although the Supreme Lord was superficially seen to have acted mischievous toward Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj was fixed in his determination, considering himself not to have fulfilled his promise. He spoke as follows: O best of God, personality of Godhead, most worshipful of all the gods, for all the demigods, if you think that my promise has become false, I shall certainly rectify matters to make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please therefore place your third lotus footstep on my head. So at that moment, Bali Maharaj, king of demons, told, Hey Bhagavan, king of the demons, Oh Bhagavan, so I gave you 2 steps that I promised. 3. 1 step, the earth. 2nd, you took sky and everything. So the 3rd step, where you put. So Bali Maharaj is saying,
यदि आप मेरी प्रतिज्ञा को असत्य मानते हैं तो मैं अपने वचन की सत्यता स्थापित करूंगा। मेरे वचन झूठे नहीं हो सकते। हे देवताओं के द्वारा वंदनीय पुरुषश्रेष्ठ, आप अपना तीसरी पग मेरे सिर पर रख दीजिए।
So put your 3rd step on my head.
इसे कहा जाता है क्या? आत्मनिवेदन.
This is atma nivedanam. I do not fear being deprived of all my possessions, living in hellish life, being arrested for poverty by the ropes of Varun, or being punished by you as much as I fear defamation. So in this way, Bali Maharaj, he surrendered himself to Vamanadev. So when Maharaj Bali was telling all this, so Prahlada Maharaj appeared. So who appeared there? Prahlada Maharaj. So he saw his grandfather. So 12. Prahlada Maharaj appeared there like the moon rising in the night time. Bali Maharaj saw his grandfather, Prahlada Maharaj, the most fortunate personality, whose dark body resembled black ointment for the eyes. His tall, elegant figure was dressed in yellow garments. He had long arms, and his beautiful eyes were like the petals of a lotus. He was very dear and pleasing to everyone. Being bound by the ropes of Varuna, Bali Maharaj could not offer befitting respect to Prahlada Maharaj as he had before. Rather, he simply offered respectful obeisances with his head, his eyes being inundated with tears and his face lowered in shame. When the great personality Prahlada Maharaj saw that Supreme Lord was sitting there, surrounded and worshipped by his intimate associates like Sunanda, he was overwhelmed with tears of jubilation. Approaching the Lord and falling to the ground, he offered obeisances to the Lord with his head. Prahlada said, "My Lord, it is your Lordship who gave this Bali the very great opulence of the post of the heavenly king, and now today it is you who have taken it all away. I think you have acted with equal beauty in both ways. Because his exalted position as king of heaven was putting him in the darkness of ignorance, you have done him a very merciful favor by taking away all of his opulence." Shukadeva Goswami continued, verse 18. O King Parikshit, Lord Brahma then began to speak to the Supreme Godhead, Lord the Personality of Godhead, within the hearing of Prahlada Maharaj, who stood nearby with folded hands. But Bali Maharaj's chaste wife, afraid and aggrieved at seeing her husband arrested, immediately offered obeisances to Lord Vamanadev Upendra. She folded her hands and spoke as follows. Srimati Binda Bali said, verse 20, "O my Lord, you have created the entire universe for the enjoyment of your personal pastimes. But foolish, unintelligent men have claimed proprietorship for material enjoyment. Certainly they are shameless agnostics. Falsely claiming proprietorship, they think they can give charity and enjoy. In such a condition, what good can they do for you, who are the independent creator, maintainer, and annihilator of this entire universe?" So why did Bhagavan take everything from Bali Maharaj? Because Bali Maharaj, he was feeling proud. Oh, I am giving donation. How can you give something? Actually, if something is yours, then you can give. But if it's nothing yours, everything you have belongs to Bhagavan. In the Upanishad, we see everything in this world belongs to Bhagavan. But Bali Maharaj was proud. Like he was thinking, this is mine, I am giving donation. "24. God told, my dear Lord Brahma, because of material opulence, a foolish person becomes dull-witted and mad. Thus he has no respect for anyone within the three worlds, and defies even my authority. To such a person I show special favor by first taking away all his possessions."
इसमें भगवान कह रहे हैं जीवात्मा स्वतंत्र परतंत्र
25.
है अपने कर्मफल के कारण
While rotating in the cycle of birth and death again and again in different species because of his own fruitive activities, the dependent living entity, by good fortune, may happen to become a human being. This human birth is very rarely obtained.
मनुष्य जन्म में यदि किसी व्यक्ति को
26. If a human being is born in an aristocratic family or a higher status of life, if he performs wonderful activities, if he is youthful, if he has personal beauty, a good education, and good wealth, and if he is nonetheless not proud of his opulences, it is understood that he is specially favored by the God. So how do you know? If you have the mercy of Lord, maybe even though you have everything, you are not proud.
मनुष्य के गर्व किसमें होता है
Why do
कुल में जन्म
the humans they have pride? If they are born in an aristocratic family, if they have knowledge, beauty, money, all these things make people proud.
जो मेरा भक्त है प्रभु ने प्राप्त करने के विचलित नहीं होता
But my devotees, even though they get all these things, they are never disturbed.
इसके द्वारा वो अभिभूत विचलित नहीं होते
The devotees, they don't become disturbed by these obstacles.
राजा बोली दानव और दैत्यों में अग्रगण्य
Bali Maharaj has become the most famous among the demons and non-believers, for in spite of being bereft of all material opulences, he is fixed in his devotional service.
वंचित हो गया है तथापि अपने पद आपके चरणों में भक्ति का
Although bereft of his riches, falling from his original position, defeated and arrested by his enemies, rebuked and deserted by his relatives and friends, although suffering the pain of being bound and although rebuked and cursed by his spiritual master, Bali Maharaj, being fixed in his vow, did not give up his truthfulness. It was certainly with pretension that I spoke about religious principles. But he did not give up religious principles, for he is true to be to his word.
मैंने इस बलि को इस पद प्रदान किया है जो देवताओं के लिए भी दुर्लभ है मेरे
31st.
बोली सावर्णिक मनु के
Lord continued, because of his great tolerance, I have given him a place not obtainable even by the demigods.
बलि महाराज
So before
मेरे
Bali Maharaj would become Indra, he will become king of the heavenly planets during the period of the Manu known as Savarni. Means Bali Maharaj would be Indra later on.
बलि को सम्मिलित करते हुए भगवान ने कहा हे महाराज इंद्रसेन तुम्हारा
Oh Bali Maharaj, Indra Sen.
भाई बंधु के साथ
33.
लोक में जाओ और
Go to the planet Sutal, which is desired even by the demigods. Live there peacefully, surrounded by your friends and relatives. All good fortune unto you. 34. On the planet Sutal, not even the predominating deities of the other planets, what to speak of ordinary people, will be able to conquer you. As far as the demons are concerned, if they transgress your rule, my disc will kill them.
इस प्रकार महाराज बलि का बंधन से छुटकर सुतल लोक को जाना पड़ा
So Maharaj Bali, he was released and he had to go to Sutalok.
भगवान इसी करे अनाश्रित की नहीं आप इसी प्रकार समदर्शी होने पर भी अपने शरणागत भक्त की कामना पूर्ण करते हैं
So even though God is equal to all the living entities, he fulfills the desires of his one-pointed devotees.
बलि महाराज के ऊपर प्रसन्न हुए
So God was pleased
शरणागत हुए
with Bali Maharaj because he gave everything to him. This Sharanagati, surrender. Sorry. Indra also committed an offense to Bhagavan. What did Indra do towards God? Which offense did he do? Indra tried to destroy Vraj and the Vrajavasis. And Brahmaji, he stole not the cows and the sakas of Krishna. And Indra so he did offense, and Kaliya also did an offense, performed an offense. So if you see, actually Bhagavan was pleased with Indra and Kaliya, but not with Brahmaji. Why? Brahmaji did perform so many prayers to Krishna. The Brahma Stutis, prayers of Brahma, are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But not even once did Krishna look at Brahma while he was performing the prayers. With Kaliyanaga, Krishna even put his foot dust on the head of Kaliya. Krishna was also pleased with Indra. He was pleased with Indra. So Indra, he did the Abhisheka of Bhagavan Vishnu, but of Krishna. But why he was not pleased with Brahma? If even Brahma is like a son to Krishna. Tell me. Isn't it? So in this world, the parents, they love their sons, right? So Brahmaji, he is the son of Bhagavan or not? Brahmaji appears from the navel of Lord. Shastra explains, whatever your son do, actually the parents, they will never see any faults or take any faults or from their sons, from their children. In the first or second chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita also explains how Brahmaji himself, he was saying, Hey Prabhu, you are my father, please forgive me. I have stolen your cows and your friends, I have stolen them. So this is my offense, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Bhagavan didn't say anything, didn't show anything. But Indra and Kaliya, so both did offense, performed offense. So Bhagavan was pleased with Kaliya and Indra. We see. So Bhagavan told Indra, you shouldn't have done that and don't do this. And also to Kaliya he told also, should not have done like this. Go to Ramanik Dweep. Kaliya told, but Garuda will come and he will eat me. Then Bhagavan, he put his lotus feet on the head of Kaliya, marking Kaliya. Or he fit the dust of his lotus feet of Krishna. But why was Krishna not pleased with Brahmaji? This question arises, isn't it? So he performed so many prayers, he apologized, asked for forgiveness. So yeah, Brahmaji also performed the prayers. One point is that Indra, he took shelter, Sharanagati, of Surabhi cow.
के आए
First, Indra caught hold of the feet of Surabhi, and Surabhi is very dear to Lord, right? And Kaliya also, actually, Kaliya he was wicked, like evil.
कालिया के सिर पर जब
When Bhagavan Krishna was dancing on the heads of Kaliya,
तब वो कालिया क्या कि भगवान के मणिमन का भगवान के चरण में समर्पण हो
so at that time only Kaliya surrendered to the feet of Lord when he was dancing on its heads.
ऐसे वर्णन है किंतु ब्रह्मा जी के देखा क्या नहीं
But with Brahmaji we don't see this situation.
समझ में आया कुछ
Did you understand something that I said?
प्रश्न उठाया
So the question that
और प्रश्न के साथ उत्तर क्या है
what is the question that I made and what is the answer?
भगवान के पुत्र है
So Brahma is the son of Bhagavan.
पुत्र जैसे भी हो
Generally the parents all will accept their children.
उसके माता
Doesn't matter how they are. Like even they are offenders or the parents never take the offense of the son, of the children. Chaitanya Charitamrita
यदि माता पिता के गोद में
is saying, Oh Prabhu,
पायखाना पेशाब भी
even if the kids, the children, they pass in stool in the lap of parents, they will never
अपराध नहीं लेते
take this offense
आप तो मेरा पिता
of the children. Oh Prabhu, you are like my father. Then Bhagavan told Brahma, Brahma, why are you lying?
तुम्हारे पिता तो गर्भोदक विष्णु
Your father is not me. Your father is Garbhodakashay Vishnu. I am a cowherd boy. Krishna told Brahma.
जी ने कहा
Then Brahmaji told him, Prabhu,
है अवतार के आप अवतारी हो
you are the avatari, the source of all the avatars.
आपको बार बार नमस्कार कर
So that's why I just pay my obeisance again and again unto you.
आप ही तो मूल नारायण हो ब्रह्मा जी ने कहा
So he told, you are the main Narayana. You are the original Narayana.
लोग आश्रय करके
Sorry, I think I said Ramayana. Narayana. You are the original Narayana. Nara means Narayana. Yana means shelter. Nara, human beings. So everyone takes shelter of his lotus feet. He's called Narayana.
नारायणम इति नारायण तो आप तो मूल नारायण हो
You are the original Narayana.
मूल नारायण है कि नहीं भगवान
Isn't it, Bhagavan?
किंतु ब्रह्मा जी एक तो किसी भक्त के आश्रय नहीं लिया वो स्वयं
But Brahmaji did not take shelter of any devotee. He came by himself, like on his own, and doing prayers to Krishna.
इसलिए ब्रह्मा जी को प्रसन्न नहीं
Sorry, so that's why Bhagavan was not pleased with Brahmaji. Another point also,
शिला रूप गोस्वामी पाद
in the Bhaktarasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami explains
भगवान के 64 जो गुण है
that from the 64 qualities of Lord, one quality is called Isharata Gun.
भगवान के गुण क्या है
What is the quality of Bhagavan? Isharata.
ये ईश्वर जो है दो प्रकार के होता है
Two kinds of Ishwar.
एक ईश्वर होता है एक स्वतंत्र एक असवतंत्र
One Swatantra and another
ब्रह्मा जी के
Aswatantra.
ब्रह्मा जी में कुछ है स्वतंत्रता है
Brahmaji has some Swatantrata.
वेदों में शास्त्र में ब्रह्मा जी के
Veda and the Shastra classifies Brahma,
स्वतंत्रता
saying that he has some independent mode in his heart, Swatantrata.
ये स्वतंत्रता गुण होने के नाते भगवान
Because of this,
ब्रह्मा जी के प्रति प्रसन्न नहीं
Bhagavan is not pleased with Brahmaji.
है ऐसा नहीं
Do you understand?
तेरे सामने सिंधु में
So in the Bhaktarasamrita Sindhu, this is explained.
अच्छा एक शब्द वो भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु पढ़ा लिया हमारे कमरे में
Could you bring Bhaktarasamrita Sindhu from my book, from my room?
बंगाली लड़का नहीं
There's no Bengali boy here to read the Bengali name of the book.
गोस्वामी के सारे ग्रंथ तो बंगला में लिखा है ना
All the books of Goswamis are in Bengali.
उल्टा फटा कर लिख देते हैं सब
In Hindi, all the books are wrongly translated generally.
लोग है ना सब गोबर खाने वाले
The Hindis,
हाँ इसलिए बंगला सीखना पड़ेगा ना
that's why you have to learn Bengali.
जितने ग्रंथ
Because all the books that our Goswamis wrote, they are wrote in Bengali.
संस्कृत
They are in Sanskrit. but they are typed in Bengali fonts, Bengali alphabet.
जितने भी ग्रंथ
All the books of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, of all the Goswamis,
बांग्ला में लिखे हैं,
they are written in Bengali. Nothing is written in Hindi.
हैं? मैं कोई के साथ रूप गोस्वामी पास
So I think like
ब्रज में रहे,
Rupa Goswami, he stayed in Braj.
हिंदी में लिखना चाहिए था।
He should have written in Hindi things, right? The books.
सनातन गोस्वामी
Sanatana Goswami also, he stayed in Braj.
के प्रति इतने
He had so much love for the Brajabas, but he didn't write any book in Hindi.
तो बंगाल से आने से क्या होता है? अरे भाषा तो संस्कृत है, किंतु उसकी टाइप बंगला में है। देखो ये सब जो है
It's Sanskrit but typed in Bengali alphabet. This is Bhakta Samta Sindhu.
तो संस्कृत
It's a big book.
तो टाइप जो है
Where's that?
भगवान के 64 गुण 64 जो गुण है
The 64 qualities of Lord.
मिला
Did you find where it is?
दाग लेकर रखा था, कहाँ चला गया?
I don't know where is it now.
वहाँ पर लिख रहे हैं विश्वनाथ चक्र बहुत सुंदर।
Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad wrote, very beautiful.
ये यहाँ पर आ गए,
Here.
ये यहाँ पर लिखते हैं भगवान में जो है 64 जो गुण है
Bhagavan has 64 qualities.
उसमें 50 नंबर गुण क्या है?
The 50th quality is Ishwar.
स्वतंत्र और दुर्लभ भेदे ईश्वर द्विविध है। स्वतंत्र के उदाहरण दे रहे हैं, कालिया नाग अपराधी हो
So the example of the Kaliya Nag. Although Kaliya Naga is
के ऊपर
offender,
अपने
Krishna
प्रदान
gave his foot dust on the head of Kaliya.
प्रसन्न हुए।
And Krishna was pleased with Kaliya.
जो ब्रह्मा अपूर्व स्तव करने भी उनके प्रति दृष्टिपात नहीं किया, दिखाई भी नहीं।
But instead, Brahma, Krishna didn't even look at Brahma. So Rupa Goswami is describing
बोले क्यों?
why Krishna was not pleased with Brahma.
क्या ना वेद
Why not?
उनको कालेनाग अपराधी हইল কৃষ্ণ তাহার মস্তকে পদাঙ্ক দান রূপ প্রসাদ করিয়াছেন, অথচ ব্রহ্মা অপূর্ব স্তব করিল তাহার প্রতি দিকপাত করিলেন না। ইহা যুক্তি তো বটে, কেননা বেদে তাহাকে স্বতন্ত্র চরিত্র বলিয়া কীর্তন করিয়াছে। হ্যাঁ, স্বতন্ত্র চরিত্র আছে।
So Brahmaji did not accept any guidance of anyone. He was not under Anugat. Kaliya, he was like following after the conception of his wives. Yeah, I wanted to see this in the book.
कालियानाग अपराधी होने पर भी श्री कृष्ण उनके सिर पर पदांक दांडू
So although Kali was an aparadhi, Krishna gave his foot dust on his head.
पूर्व स्तब करने पर भी
Brahma
उनके प्रति
and Brahma, even though he performed so many prayers, Krishna didn't even look at him
स्वतंत्र चित्त बढ़िया कृतित्व करिया छे
because he was like independent.
समझो
Do you understand?
तस्मा स्थाने युक्तम एवं स्वतंत्र चरित्रता निगमे तर्थ विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती क्या लिखा
So this is Jiva Goswami. What did Vishwanath Chakravarti Pada wrote?
पन्नाग कृष्ण पदांग रूप प्रसादम अकुरुत अपूर्वं यथास्था वर्तवते ब्रह्मणे दिक्मपि तस्मात् स्थाने युक्तम इव स्वतंत्र चरितात्व निगमित्व वेदे नु इत्यर्थ ये लिख रहे हैं ये वेदों में उनके स्वतंत्र चरित्र कह के कीर्तन किया है
The Vedas glorify him as
स्वतंत्रता रहते
Swatantra Charit. If you have independent mode,
उनके ऊपर
independent mode,
नहीं करता
Bhagavan will not give you mercy. He will not give you mercy.
यही दिखा रहे हैं ये सब अर्थ दिखा रहे हैं संस्तु असम्मताति अपसम्माति सस्तत्रधि सराज लक्ष्मी आत्म समस्त कामं बलिं हरिद्भित् चिरलोकपालै किरीटिकटीडित पादपीठम् ये श्लोक याद करना बहुत अच्छा है
So you should memorize this sloka. It's a very nice sloka.
स्वतंत्र सम्मतिसाय स्वतंत्र धीश स्वराज्य लक्ष्मम आप समस्त कामम आप्त आप्त समस्त आप्त कामम बलिर्दिग्भिश्चिरलोकपालै किरीटी कोटि ऋतं पादपीठ तो ब्रह्मा जी के दोष क्या था
So what was the fault of Brahma? What was his fault?
स्वतंत्र चरित्र
Swatantra Charit. He was like independent.
इसलिए
That's why
भगवान उनके ऊपर
Bhagavan, he was not pleased with Brahma.
गौर प्रेमानंद
Gaur Premanande.
चलो अगले हाँ ये कौन सा भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु में हाँ हाँ नहीं ये भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु में है ना कृष्ण के जो छोटे जो गुण वर्णन किया
So the 64 qualities of Krishna explains.
50 नंबर गुण 51
The 51 quality is this one.
भगवान में जो ईश्वर बने
Ishwaratva means
जिसको कंट्रोलर
Bhagavan is the controller.
तो उसमें वर्णन होते जा रहे हैं जी ब्रह्मा जी को
So it describes how Brahmaji,
कृपा क्यों नहीं किया,
why did
प्रसन्नता नहीं किया।
God, why was God not pleased with Brahmaji?
कलिया और इंद्र के ऊपर प्रसन्न हो गया
He was pleased with Kaliya and Indra. Why?
ना। ब्रह्मा जी किसी का आश्रय लेकर के
Bra-
स्तुति नहीं की,
Brahmaji did not take shelter of anyone and performed prayers to Lord.
माता के
But Indra, he took shelter of the feet of Gomata, Surabhi cow, and came with her.
कलिया भी
And Kaliya also, he took shelter, remembering his wives.
भगवान के चरण में समर्पित हो गया।
Then he surrendered to the feet of Bhagavan.
वो लीला प्रसंग कर दिया। लीला प्रसंग है ना वो, किस लीला से कौन सा कथा बोल रहे हैं।
So, which Leela will describe each subject, different subject.
अभी दोनों सुना, दो जो सुना
So you listen to different things. So how to reconcile?
हाँ? दोनों तो सुना ये तो मैं भी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, ये तो भक्ति रसा सिंधु में।
So I'm not saying, it's clear in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I'm just telling you what is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
भक्ति रसा सिंधु में स्पष्ट लिखा है, मैं इसे पढ़कर ब्रह्मा जी के प्रति प्रसन्न नहीं हुआ।
Krishna was not pleased with Brahma.
हो सकता है कहीं लिखा होगा किसका,
Maybe it's written because of another reason, in a different way, a different context of Harikatha, different explanation. Depends on this.